A big congratulations to all caregivers all over the world, and a bigger congratulations to caregivers that are trying to relocate to Canada, or you've been trying to apply for roles in Canada, or you're currently working in Canada. A big congratulations to you. And maybe you are surprised, you are shocked, you're like, what is going on? What is going on? Well, this is the good news that I have for you. A big congratulations to all Canadian caregivers and those that are still seeking for job as caregivers in Canada. I mean, this is a big update, a good one, right? So they are planning to give PR to caregivers, in Canada. They see their works, they see the stress and everything, and they're like, okay, let's give these people PR. I mean, for those that are still planning to go as a caregiver, they are going to be giving you PR on arrival. PR is something some people fight for years, for 2 years. They work hard for it. They just make sure that they try to get that PR by all means. But here is an opportunity. They are giving you on a platter of gold, and just for them to commend you on the good work that you're doing for your country. So this is a big opportunity, and for those that are thinking of the perfect job to get an immediate PR, you might consider going through caregivers. Just make sure that you get a full-time role as a caregiver, and then you are good to go, right? So you can go through in the information for yourself, check their site, and so this new pilot program will provide home care workers or caregivers with permanent residence on arrival. I mean, you don't have to wait, you don't have to stress yourself. Do you know how long it takes for some people to even get the PR? Some people would have stayed in Canada for years before they get PR, right? A lot of people, they have been struggling to get this PR, but now it is made available for caregivers. Caregivers, take your crown, you try, right? I'm very sure that this time people will start looking into applying for caregiver roles. There will be a massive application for caregiver roles right now in Canada, because it is now one of the easiest way to get your PR. And if you are there, you're watching this video, you are in Nigeria, you are in any country aside Canada, and you have been planning to relocate to Canada all these years, all this month, all these weeks, this is your time to start applying for caregiving roles, because it makes it easier, and you also get PR on arrival. For the fact that this new pilot program is allowing caregivers to get PR on arrival says much about the kind of jobs that are in high demand in Canada. And that is why I'm going to encourage everyone that has been trying to relocate to Canada to start applying for caregiving roles. Yes, start doing that right now. I mean, for some of my clients that have gotten caregiving roles in Canada, they're given PR on arrival then. So this program is just starting. So they too, they will be getting PR, because whether you are just coming to Canada or you have been in Canada, they are making it available for caregivers generally. So this is something you may want to look into, right? So as a couple, your wife can go into the caregiving roles where the husband is doing the normal job. At least by the time you get PR, it will be easier for your husband to also stay, as a citizen, or to also get PR. It makes it easier, right? So one of you, if you are going as a couple, one of you can just go into the caregiving roles, or if you are going alone, just check out caregiving roles. I mean, it's not bad for you to just try applying for caregiving roles. You never can tell, it can work for you. And getting the job means that you are getting your PR, period. I mean, no hassle, no stress, no struggles. You're getting your PR, and that's on period. For those that are watching this video and you don't know what PR is all about, PR means permanent residency. Some people call it permanent resident. PR in form of Canada. Now let me just use Canada as an example. So a Canadian permanent resident is someone who has been granted permanent residence as an immigrant to live in that country, right? A permanent resident also enjoys the same benefit as the citizen of the country. If you don't have your PR, you can go back home anytime, you can be sent home anytime, anything can happen, right? You just most especially people that are that went through study visa, right? For some of them, normally you will have to get a work so that you can get a PR, or you have to get a work so that you can keep staying in Canada for that moment, because you don't have your PR yet. But now, if you have your PR, that means that you still have this peace of mind. It is not that you have gotten your citizenship, but it is at least a step closer to you getting your citizenship. And that is why a lot of people, they are always on the lookout on how they can get PR, right? So people will even try to get any work so that they can just get this PR, but now they are giving you on arrival, meaning that you don't have to stress yourself, and you also get the same benefits just like the citizen of Canada. PR means that you also have access to some of the things that the citizen have access to, and you must also maintain this PR by meeting certain obligations, by the province or the territories that you have. You have to make sure that you don't lose that PR. But then this is a big news for caregivers. So for those that have been asking me questions about, caregivers, how will they apply for caregiving roles and the likes and the likes and the likes. All right, caregivers generally are people that take care of, the sick, the elderly, the disabled, or people with disability. They take care of the sick. They take care of, people generally, can take care of, anyone that just need help, assistance. Some use healthcare assistants, some use support workers, some use caregivers, but generally caregivers is just like the general word that is being used for those people that participate in such role, right? So if you want to apply for caregiver roles, all you need to do is just get a Canadian standard resume, and make sure that the resume entails all your experiences about caregiving, right? All your experiences must be about caregiving, not that you now bring mass communication experience, or you bring sales, or you bring tech, and you say you want to use it to apply for caregiving roles. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So all you need to do is just create a professional resume, a Canadian standard professional resume, right? I've already spoken about this before. I'm going to attach the link for you to watch the video again on how to create a Canadian standard resume. Hopefully it's going to help a lot of people now to get caregivers role in Canada. And when you get that, don't forget your coach, right? Okay, I'm just joking, right? So you have to make sure that you prepare a Canadian standard resume that is tailored towards caregiving. And I feel right now the use of ATS software is going to be used in it's going to be used. It's not going to be like your recruiter is going through your resume. No, it's going to be passed through the ATS, so that it will make the recruitment process easier for them. So I'm going to encourage everyone that is watching this video that make sure that your resume is ATS standard, because we all know that Canada mostly use ATS to filter their resume, to pick the best candidates even before it gets to the hiring manager. So make sure that you prepare a Canadian standard resume and an ATS standard resume, right? We have different format style for different countries. So Canada has its own styles, right? Like I said earlier, I've put the description to watch the video under this particular video. So go through the description, click on the video and watch. It's an extensive video that I made for you, right, to help you at this period in time, right? And for those that are thinking caregiving roles is work, I can't do it, is dirty, is this, well, I don't know what to say, but caregivers are the ones that are enjoying right now, especially if you are planning to relocate to Canada or you are in Canada. So I would strongly advise that you start applying for jobs, especially sponsorship visa jobs, right? Sponsorship visa, because I feel like this time they will even want to sponsor caregivers willingly. People that are unable to come to Canada on their own, they need sponsorship, they need employers to bring them over to Canada. I feel this time there is going to be a high demand of caregivers in Canada. So please don't dwell on this information. I'm not just giving you for information's sake, or for you to just watch this video and forget about it. Especially if you have it in mind that you want to relocate to Canada, this is the time for you to start taking action, right? This pilot program is for you. It's for people that has been struggling all these years trying to get to Canada. So why not make use of this opportunity to apply and get your PR? According to the program, that is the new pilot program for caregivers, and their family members, right? So these are the things that you might need to do. If you're already in Canada, I think the process is much easier. But if you are yet to be in Canada, or you're looking for sponsorship visa works for your employer to help you process you're coming to Canada and the likes, then these are the steps that you might need to take, right? So the first thing is you have to maintain a level 4 on the Canadian language benchmark. That's CLB, right? And you are thinking, what is CLB? I think it's just like the IELTS. It's just like the IELTS exams that you write, like just to confirm that you can speak English, you can communicate in English, the grammar. But the score needed is not actually much. I think it's between 5 and 7. For this particular caregiving work, you just need CLB mark of like 5 or 7, depending on the level of that job, right? So that is the first thing that you need to do. And then after doing that, I think the for you okay, let me just address this. You might check the price online, right? But the one that I saw recently, I think is $100 for the exam. And mind you, IELTS exam right now is very expensive also. I think IELTS is around 257,000 naira. Like that's Nigerian money. So this exam is $100. That's like 100 and I don't know, you can just do the calculations and just confirm the price also on your own. And then after doing that, then you must hold the equivalent of a Canadian high school diploma. That means if you are from other countries, you have your high school certificate. This program, you don't really need your university certificate and the likes. Just make sure that you went through secondary school, or if you are in different another country, you're watching me, just have the equivalent of the Canadian high school diploma, right? Just make sure you have that, and I feel that a majority should have that. I mean, I understand that some people are not privileged to go to universities, but then secondary school, you should have that SSC certificate and the likes, right? And if it's OND, HND, you are also good to go. And then if you have that, you should also, another thing is that you must have recent and relevant work experience that is tailored towards caregivers. Don't make this mistake on your resume. I always tell people, make Canada mostly use resume because there is a difference between CV and resume, and I'm not even ready to go into that today. But Canada mostly use resume, and resume must be tailored towards a specific job role. That means that everything that is going to be on that resume must be tailored towards caregiving, from your skills to your professional summary to your experience and the likes. And for some of you that you feel like you don't have the experience and all that, trust me, there is something that you can always use, but I'm not going to spill the truth here. I'll just keep that to myself. But there's something that you can always bank on as relevant work experience and the likes, right? And then after getting that ready, and start applying for jobs on this side. We have Canada job banks, we have Indeed, we have different platforms by which you can apply for all these jobs, and make sure that you receive a full-time offer for that job. That's the home care jobs or caregiving work, or caregiving job role, right? Make sure you get a full-time offer. And if you are unable to get full-time offer, well, there is also option for temporary worker, for temporary work offer. But then full-time offer will help you to get the PR immediately. And I feel that most employers need full-time, employees, especially this time in Canada. If they are giving PR for caregivers right now, that should tell you something, that there is high demand of caregivers in Canada, and you may start looking into this, right? And for some people that feel like caregiving, I can't do it, I can't do that, then, well, you can go for other roles, but trust me, it's going to be kind of difficult, right? Especially if you're not in tech, you're not in all these high demand skills, then I would just encourage you to just go through caregiving role. Try to apply for just using the Canadian standard resume, and make sure that you get that full offer. And trust me, it's I feel this process is much easier, but you can start now before people start rushing it, because I feel like this information is not yet out there, right? So before it gets to more people, millions of people, you can start, applying, you can start, you can start the process right now and all that. And another thing is that you may not need the CLB exam and all that. If you are able to get, sponsorship visa directly, you may not need it. That is just it. As long as you are from an English speaking country, so you may not really need it. So it still depends on the job and the level, because they have like tier 3, tier 2, they are in levels, right? So you have to just check that particular job that you're trying to apply for to be sure that, okay, this is what it is, this is what it takes and all that. So this is the brief explanation of all you need to do, what you need to go through. You can also check the site, right? As a relocation expert and a professional resume plus a career coach, I don't just put out information that I don't know about. So I will also encourage you to also go through the website and read all the details. But I would just like to encourage everyone that has been trying over time to relocate to Canada to just try this out. I mean, there's no harm in trying, right? Okay, so that is, and I can't wait to celebrate with you right? I'm also going to drop the link for you to read further information about, this program that is just starting, right? It's on the Canadian site also. If you check it out, it's real. I will never come here to give you false information, so trust me. And if you also need my help in creating a Canadian standard resume, in putting you through some things, then feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to drop the details under the description of this video. I want what makes you happy, right? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share, and I love you guys. Bye.